Meet Maria, 29 years old, admin assistant in New York City, earning $51,600 a year. Standing right next to her is another Maria, same age, same job, same city, same salary. To the naked eye, they are economic twins, but there is a lethal discrepancy hiding in plain sight. When the check engine light flashes on the dashboard, the first Maria feels her heart rate spike to 120 beats per minute. She spirals. The second Maria? She sleeps soundly. She doesn't even blink. Why? Because the second Maria is protected by the $10,000 Kinetic Shield. The first Maria is part of the 62% of Americans who are currently raw material for the banking cartel's extraction machine, holding less than $10,000 in liquid cash. The system is rigged to keep you in that panic zone because that's where they profit. Today, I'm going to expose exactly how this specific number rewires your brain chemistry, decodes the algorithm designed to keep you broke, and I'll give you the step-by-step extraction plan to build your shield and take your money back. Here's what they don't tell you about the American financial system. It is designed to harvest your anxiety. The banks and credit card issuers are betting against you. They know that if you live with zero margin, a single slip-up converts you from a free citizen into a hostage of high-interest debt. This isn't an accident. It's architecture. The Federal Reserve's own 2024 survey of consumer finances, corroborated by bank rate analysis, proves the scale of the trap. 62% of Americans have less than $10,000 in savings. Even worse, 24% have absolutely zero. If you are in that group, you aren't bad with money. You are the target demographic for an industry that generates billions in overdraft fees and credit card interest. They need you vulnerable. They need you one paycheck away from disaster so they can step in as the savior with a 29% APR lifeline. Let's look at the math they hide from you. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics 2024 data, the median full-time salary in this country is roughly $5,217 a month. That means $10,000 isn't just an arbitrary pile of cash. It is exactly 1.9 months of freedom. It is nearly 60 days where you can tell the system no. Without it, you have zero leverage. Return to Maria. Let's decode her reality. Current Maria brings home $4,300 a month after taxes. Her rent in NYC is a suffocating $3,400. She sends $300 to her parents. That leaves scraps for food and transport. She is redlining every single month. This is what medical researchers call financial toxicity. It's not just stress, it's biological damage. Her cortisol is permanently elevated. When that check engine light turns on, she doesn't have the cash. She swipes a credit card. Now she's carrying a balance. The interest starts ticking. The algorithm has captured her. Now look at Maria with the Kinetic Shield. She has the exact same income, the exact same rent. But over the last 18 months, she ruthlessly skimmed small amounts into a separate account until she hit 5 figures. When her car breaks, she transfers the cash. No debt, no interest, no cortisol spike. The bank makes $0 off her misfortune. This is the difference between being a victim of the economy and being a player in it. The system hates the second Maria because it cannot extract wealth from her. She has insulated herself from the friction that grinds everyone else down. The banks are betting you won't notice that the cost of survival has outpaced the cost of living. They rely on unexpected events to push you over the edge. But if you look at the data, these events aren't unexpected at all. They are statistical certainties. Let's stress test this number against the brutal reality of 2024. Why $10,000? Why not $1,000? You've heard the gurus say, start with $1,000. In this economy, $1,000 is a paper umbrella in a hurricane. It's gone in a weekend. To survive the extraction machine, you need armor. Take New York City as our benchmark for high-cost survival. The MIT Living Wage Calculator and recent BLS data indicate that a single adult's baseline survival cost, rent, food, transport, the bare minimum, is between $4,800 and $5,600 a month. Do the math. $10,000 is barely 2 months of runway. That is the minimum requirement to prevent a temporary job loss from becoming a permanent financial ruin. Consider the anatomy of a modern emergency. It is rarely one clean event. It's a cluster strike. Bankrate's 2024 data shows that while 26% of people withdraw between $1,000 and $2,500 for a single emergency, real life hits harder. The car breaks down, $1,200. You miss 2 days of work to fix it, loss of income. Then the stress flares up an old injury, $500 copay. Let's look at James, a 32-year-old warehouse supervisor in Queens. He's a single dad making $59,000. He's tough, hardworking, doing everything right. But last year, the system nearly broke him. He had a standard emergency fund of $1,500. Then his transmission failed, $1,800. 2 weeks later, his daughter needed urgent dental work, $900 out of pocket. Total cost, $2,700. His savings were vaporized instantly. He had to put $1,200 on a card. That balance is still there today, compounding, eating his future income. If James had the Kinetic Shield, that $10,000 buffer, those bills would have been annoying transactions, not life-altering anchors. The $10,000 acts as a spiral breaker. It absorbs the kinetic energy of bad luck, so your life doesn't derail. Without it, you are one bad week away from a poverty cycle that can last a decade. The banks know this. They have actuaries calculating the exact probability of James failing, so they can price the loan he'll inevitably need. I want to ask you a serious question, just looking at the math. Are you currently in the 62% who are vulnerable, or the 38% who are shielded? No judgment, just data. Put a 62 or 38 in the comments so we can see the reality of this economy. Now, how do we actually build this shield when the system is designed to drain you? The banks offer you pathetic tools. They give you savings accounts paying 0.01% interest, while inflation runs at 2.4%. They are mocking you. They take your money, lend it out at 7%, and toss you pennies. We are not going to play their game. We are going to hack their infrastructure to build our fortress. Step 1 is the audit. You cannot fill a bucket that is riddled with bullet holes. You need to track every single penny for 30 days. I'm not talking about a budget. I'm talking about a forensic investigation. Where is the leakage? Is it the subscription you forgot? The convenience fees? The frantic takeout orders because you were too tired to cook? You need to find the money the system is siphoning off invisibly. Step 2 is the automation hack. You cannot rely on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, and the advertisers deplete it by noon. You need to bypass your own brain. Meet Darnell, a bus operator in Brooklyn. He supports 2 kids on $66,000 a year. He thought saving $10,000 was impossible. So we broke it down. He set up an auto transfer of $50 a week. That is it, $50. He didn't miss it. It vanished from his checking account before he could spend it. Let's run the calculation on Darnell's strategy. $50 a week is $2,600 a year. In 4 years, he has his shield. But here's the magic. Once Darnell saw the balance grow to $1,000, his psychology shifted. He started finding other ways to feed the fund. He cut the cable package. He cooked more. Consistency beats intensity every single time. The algorithm wants you to try to save huge chunks, fail, and give up. We win by being relentless and small. Step 3 is location. Do not leave your shield money in your checking account. That is dangerous. If you see it, you will spend it. And do not leave it in a standard big bank savings account earning 0.01%. That is insulting. Per FDIC. RateWatch 2024. The big banks, Chase, Bank of America, are paying practically zero. You need to move that money to a high-yield account at a separate institution. Disconnect it from your debit card. Make it hard to access. It needs to be out of sight, out of mind, and earning at least 4% so it fights inflation for you. This isn't just about money. This is about buying back your autonomy. The $10,000 Kinetic Shield is the price of admission to a life where you make decisions based on what you want, not what you fear. It converts you from a hostage into a negotiator. We have exposed 3 critical mechanics today. First, that $10,000 isn't cash. It is 1.9 months of leverage against a system that wants you desperate. Second, that the spiral breaker effect prevents minor bad luck from compounding into bankruptcy. And third, that you can build this fortress starting with just $50 a week if you automate the process and ignore the bank's low-yield traps. Here is your mission for tonight. Log into your payroll or your bank. Set up an automatic transfer for $50 or $25 or $10 to a separate savings account. Do it before you sleep. Break the inertia. The system is betting on your inaction. Make them lose that bet. If you are done being raw material for the banking cartel and you want to build real wealth, subscribe. Next week, we are decoding exactly how to invest that first $10,000 once you have it secure. Join the resistance against algorithmic extraction. This video is for educational purposes only, not personal financial advice. All data is from the Federal Reserve, BLS, and Bankrate as of December 2024. Products mentioned are examples, not recommendations. Consult a licensed financial advisor for your specific situation.